What's up, everybody? It is Friday. What's going on, people? This is Gail Dudley with your news in motion. Today is Friday, October the 9th, 2020. Hey, what's up, Pastor Alex? Y'all know what it is. It is Mimosa Friday. Good morning, Kim Keels. Good morning, Brenda Randleman. I see y'all coming up in here. And remember, y'all, when I say that, it can just be a glass of orange juice. It's all good. Good morning, Marion. Good morning, Pete. Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning, Deborah Johnson. Good morning. I love giving y'all this shout out in the morning. But y'all, it's Friday. Anybody want to party today? And if my daughter saw me dancing, she'd go, Mom, stop. Please stop. She don't know, though. We used to have it going on. Y'all remember this? Yeah. Those of y'all on here know the dances that I'm talking about. I'm having a good time this morning. Good morning, Adrian. Good morning. Good Friday morning. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all, before I even get started with the headlines, I only have one question I want to cover today, and this should go pretty quick today. Maybe. Y'all know me. I'll get to talking. I've had my coffee and at work already. Okay, good morning, Oscar. How are you? Y'all, the other day, yesterday actually, yesterday evening, many of you know that I was sharing with you that my husband and I were downsizing. Like, we don't need all this. Never did, if truth be told. But we're just like, we don't need all this. So, putting stuff, cleaning stuff out. I have taken probably, 15 to 20 loads of stuff to Goodwill, to a human trafficking center, to a domestic violence center. I mean, just getting rid of stuff. And so yesterday, my husband and I, we were sitting on the sofa and we were just like, we're just tired. We're just going to be still. Well, I was going through my news feed and Latrice Jones had sent me a video of this woman named Crystal singing. I don't know if y'all have seen it. I'll post it on my wall later. But this woman named Crystal singing, and they're just like in the house. It's like a down south experience, and she breaks out singing, and she's pregnant. I would say she's probably 8 or 9 months pregnant, somewhere around there. But they just break out in a song, and I was just listening to it, and I was like, now that's what I miss. I miss that type of ministry, that type of church fellowship. I said, but you know what? It can happen right here in our homes. And so just from one song after another yesterday, we went into a time of just worship, just my husband and I. No preacher, although he is. No preacher, no choir, just in our home, no television on, just the music, the worship music alone. And I said, man, and it like put just a sweet, sweet spirit just in our home. It was just like ricocheting off of the walls of just how good God is. And I wanted to open up this morning and share that with you to say, even in times like these, we need to be able to go into our place of worship, because following the news, following everything 24/7 that's happening, listening to all the negativity, hearing about all of the killings, we have to make sure we are in a safe space to allow the presence of the Lord to consume us and to fill us and to lead us into a place of worship with Him. I was going to do a post last night, then I was like, no, nothing's going to interrupt this place of worship, this sanctuary that's in our home. And y'all hear me, that can happen in your car, that can happen while you're walking down the street, that can happen while you're taking a shower. But there was just something about this worship that just broke out in our home. I was praying for someone. I had received a text message and I was sharing it with my husband and we started praying. We were just sitting on the sofa, y'all. There was a light on, I think, in our house, but we were just exhausted. So we just sat down. We had word of a family member who had something happen to them yesterday. And we were just like, oh my gosh, let's just be still. And literally, I was getting ready to get up and go get on a webinar. I don't even know why I'm going here this morning. Maybe y'all need to hear it too. But I was getting up to get ready to get on a webinar. And I just happened to sit down on the sofa. The ottoman was in front of us. My husband was leaned back. He put his legs up on the ottoman. I just kind of sat there in the corner of the sofa. I had a blanket around me because it's cold in Ohio. I had a blanket around me, and I said, let me just scroll. And again, I saw that video that Latrice Jones sent. And y'all, all I know is her name is Crystal. I will post it later. But she broke out in a song, no instruments. And I mean, tears was falling down my face. My husband was just looking. We went into a place of worship. We were praying for people. And it was like that for a good hour. A good hour. And let me share this with y'all. Last night was the best sleep I have had in months. So I want to encourage all of you. Yeah, we do News in Motion. You're watching different news feeds. We're reading different articles. But y'all, please worship. And this was unscheduled time. It just happened, which means we had quieted ourselves enough to allow God's presence to consume us. So before I even get to the headlines, I needed to share that with all of you. I just needed to share that with all of you. It still happens. The blood still works, y'all. It still works. God is still present. In the midst of this chaos, God is still present. He's still here. So with that said, I believe it was God who yes, Demia, your worship saves a life. Yes, Demia. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Demia. So with that said, I believe God Almighty covered Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Who does that? I'm just like, are we seriously talking about this? This is what's happening? More than a dozen men were arrested on federal and state charges in connection with the alleged foiled plot to kidnap Michigan's Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer, authorities said on Thursday. Y'all, that is crazy. Y'all, 6 were apprehended and charged with federal crimes, while another 7, now I hear there's more, were picked up on state charges, officials said in Michigan. All of the members of 2 militia groups were preparing to kidnap and possibly kill her, Whitmer said in an address from Lansing late Thursday afternoon following the arrest. She says, and I want to say this, and this is where I'm going, y'all. You have to just break out and worship. She says, when I put my hand on the Bible and took the oath of office 22 months ago, I knew this job would be hard, Whitmer continued. But I'll be honest, I never could have imagined anything like this. And then she thanked everyone that she wanted to thank. Y'all, let's continue to pray for her family. You don't know who hasn't been captured yet, but we're going to pray God's protection around her family, and everyone else, not just her, but people all across this land whose faces are on the wall, or phone calls that are being intercepted, or social media, whatever that may be, y'all. This is serious. So let's please continue to pray for her. Y'all, the White House security official contracted COVID-19 in September. That happened. It says a top White House security official, Cree Bailey, actually is gravely ill with COVID-19 and has been hospitalized since September, according to 4 people familiar with this condition. The White House has not publicly disclosed Bailey's illness. Y'all, Bailey is the White House security official. And we never heard of that, so that's happening. The coronavirus numbers, there are 7,834,289 confirmed cases. Remember, I go through the World Health Organization. I bypass the CDC. There are 217,750 deaths. There are 5,025,910 that have recovered, so let's celebrate recovery. They are also intimidated by a strong woman. You're right, Adrian, you're right. Y'all, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel says that Wisconsin shatters previous daily coronavirus records, reporting that more than 3,000 new cases a day. More than 900 are hospitalized. They have since had to set up a health center on their fairgrounds because they cannot even find hospital beds or anything that is happening. So y'all, listen. The weather is changing. The weather is changing. Y'all, please write your own narrative for your health. Wear your mask. Yes, they get on my nerves too, but wear your mask. Wash your hands and social distance. Please, y'all, your lives depend upon this. They do. And even in light of all of the numbers rising, the occupant of the Oval plans to return to conducting rallies as soon as tomorrow. That's the fastest. That is the fastest recovery I've ever heard of with coronavirus. I'll leave that there. The occupant isn't interested in having a remote debate in Miami, but the Miami mayor said, don't come here with your coronavirus. Don't come here. We don't need one more person to come here. So that's happening. Y'all, let me tell you about this. You said 7.8. That's 8,000 more in a month. 800,000. Well, it says, it says 3,000 new cases a day. So 3,000 new cases a day, not unless they have an error in their, not unless they have an error in their media release, but it says 3,000 new cases a day, more than 900 hospitalized. Anybody want to respond to that? The confirmed cases are this is United States. The confirmed cases are 7,834,289. Deaths are 217,750 deaths. Recovered are 5,025,910 recovered. So this is Wisconsin. This is Wisconsin only. Oh, it says you're right, Gail Dudley. Okay, I'm trying to be right. I'm just reading this. What's up, Cheryl Cosby? So y'all, in Wisconsin, there are 3,000 new cases a day. And this has been since October the 3rd. I'm reading the whole thing now. This has been since October the 3rd, and more than 900 hospitalized. So that's what's happening in Wisconsin. All right, y'all, and I told you the occupant plans to return to conducting rallies as soon as tomorrow. And the occupant isn't interested in having a remote debate in Miami. But get this, y'all. The Miami mayor said, don't come over here. Don't come over here. So we don't know what's going to happen. We'll see we'll see how that falls out. Either he's going to do a remote or he's not. Now, y'all get this. A black homeowner. I thought this was an interesting news piece I received. She received 2 appraisals. There was a $62,000 difference. And she didn't want to go to the race piece because she's an African-American female. And she believes, though, that the lower one was skewed by her race and her neighborhood. But there's a recent study that shows that those factors play more in a role in appraisals now than in 1980. Is that not crazy? More now than in 1980. So I wanted to just share that. So y'all, the numbers keep rising. I have to share this with you. This is our great news for today. Y'all, in early voting, as of 11:59 p.m. last night, y'all, there have been 6.6 million ballots cast. Y'all keep voting. Y'all keep voting. Standing ovation to all of you who have voted early. I'm actually going this morning. I was supposed to go Tuesday. It didn't work out, but I'm going this morning. I can't wait. I'm going to get my shout on when I get my vote in. So I'm going with a friend. I'm not going by myself, y'all. I'm not going by myself. And that's really why I did not do it Tuesday. I'm doing it today. So plan your vote, people. Plan your vote. Check your polling place, y'all. You can go to www.iwillvote.com. Again, that's www.iwillvote.com. You can get your sample ballot by going to ballotready.org. Again, that's www.ballotready.org. Y'all, they still need poll workers. Wisconsin needs poll workers. But who wants to go to Wisconsin when they have this serious outbreak going on with the coronavirus? But poll workers, you can go to www.eac.gov. And that stands for Election Assistance Commission.gov. EAC.gov. All right, y'all. I received one question. I only received one question. And I will do my best to answer it. There are 5 scenarios. I'm going to quickly go over this. The question is, Gail, I've been seeing a lot lately since we have a 74-year-old white man and a 77-year-old white man, soon to be 78-year-old white man, running for the top office of the United States of America. What happens if they die before the election? Why did you give me this question? Why? So I went looking. So this is what I found. And check it out for yourselves, people. Check it out for yourselves. Thank you all for putting the links in there. All right, so what happens? Well, here's scenario one. If a candidate dies before election day, it's too late to change the ballots. And most people would assume that the vice president's name who's on there would assume that role, and then they can choose a running mate. Well, it ain't that easy, y'all. It's not that easy. The RNC and the DNC has a word in there, which means we don't know. But let me share this with you. Voters can vote for a dead candidate. I know that sounds just morbid, just crazy, but they can. And it has happened before. Not as a presidential race, but it did happen in 2000 with the Missouri governor. Yeah. Governor Mel Carahan was a Democratic nominee for the year's Senate race in that state. He died in a plane crash 3 weeks before the election. Too late for his name to be removed, but the Democrats had announced that his widow would have the choice for the seat, and she actually won. She actually won and served. So there's that. Either party could do whatever they choose to do as during an untimely death. They already have their own rules written, but it depends on what happens. Again, y'all, that's why it's so important to vote. Because, see, we don't think about the Supreme Court for that, but we need to. We need to. There needs to be an odd number, but not such odd that one party wouldn't have a chance. So we have to think about. See, these are things we don't think about. I hadn't thought about that either. Scenario number 2, the losing candidate dies before the Electoral College votes. Well, what happens? You're going to assume that automatically the VP will step into president and then they can choose somebody. Not necessarily the case. When I'm reading this, and I've read through different things, when I'm reading this, you have 538 electors from the entire country. That's the Electoral College. They get to actually choose a president, even if they're living. They get to actually choose a president. Sometimes what they're supposed to do is to go the way their state goes. That didn't happen in 2016. So you cannot even imagine it. So there could be a clear winner, and they can go, oh, we don't want to do that. Everything is on the ballot. You're right, Michelle. Everything is on the ballot, y'all. So you have this, if the losing candidate dies, then the winner still wins. Maybe. So that's why it's so important. It's like, who are your electors for your state? Who are they? Who are they? Find out who they are. We need to have some serious laws with this to keep this going. Scenario 3, the winning candidate dies before the Electoral College votes. Okay, we have that. The vice president-elect should go in there and should be able to name their vice president. Well, really, the RNC committee, the DNC committee gets to determine that. That's how I'm reading this. So I want everyone to check. Again, I'm doing the best I can to answer this. That's how I'm reading. I read 4 different documents. One legal, which was very hard to read, but I got through it anyway, took notes. I measured that up with some different articles that I found, just looking to see what was true. See, but that's what happens, y'all, when we have, come on, 74-year-old and a 77, almost 78-year-old. Come on, seriously? That's what we have. That's what we're working with, people. Now, granted, somebody younger can pass away too, but this is what we're working with, people. This is what we're working with. Where we have to ask this question, what if one of them dies? That's a real question, especially with the occupant having coronavirus. Well, I guess he has coronavirus. All right, so then here's the 20th Amendment. Found this. Thought it was interesting. And we should be following this. And I want to read it. If at the time fixed for the beginning of the term of president, the president-elect shall have died, the vice president-elect shall become president. That's what it says. That's the 20th Amendment. So when I go and look this up, there's some commentary here from an attorney who says, perhaps a majority of the Electoral College could simply stick with what the ballot said and make the deceased presidential nominee president-elect and the VP nominee vice president-elect. I don't know. And they came from Georgetown. Law. I don't know. I don't know. But here's the 20th Amendment to the Constitution. Then we have scenario 4. Can y'all believe this? We have scenario 4. The winning candidate in the Electoral College votes dies before Inauguration Day. Woo, Lord, can y'all just live until everybody's sworn in? Please. On January 6, 2021, a joint session of newly elected Congress will gather to make official the results of the presidential election by counting the Electoral College votes. Now, there's not a clear determination what's going to happen, but it says they'll go back to the 20th Amendment. But the 20th Amendment, if somebody dies and we don't know who then becomes the president, that's the vice president. To my understanding, Adrian, the president gets to choose. However, the RNC and DNC are saying they should have a voice. And in addition to that, I know I'm confusing all of y'all because I'm confused. And then in addition to that, Congress can step in and have a voice. That's why we vote, people. That's why we vote. We have to vote all the ticket. We have to vote, y'all. We have to vote. So it's and it even goes on to say, it's a bit unclear about who actually becomes a president-elect. Well, I'm unclear, and I done read 4 different documents, and I'm not an expert in this, but we have attorneys, we even have Congress people saying people are unclear. So which means there's a flaw in here. There's a serious flaw. But here's scenario number 5. A presidential candidate dies, and there's a disputed election battle. Please, God, don't let this happen. It says, saving the most chaotic possibility for last, it is also impossible that the presidential election outcome will be very close or disputed, such as with Gore. Yeah, I'm confused too, Brenda Randall. I'm going to just give y'all the link and y'all can read it yourselves because I don't know. I really don't know. And so it goes on and talks about President Trump. I'm using his name because I'm reading it. President Trump has clearly been laying the groundwork to try to contest the results of a close election with baseless claims of fraud in mail voting and declining to promise a peaceful transfer of power. Some leading Democrats are also saying they want a close results to be vigorously contested. Hillary Clinton said Biden should not concede under any circumstances. So they talk about that, and they said if they die in the middle of that, it automatically goes to the Supreme Court for a decision. Again, that's why we vote. That's why we vote, people, y'all. That's why we vote. So again, I don't know if I answered just quite the question or not. I have no idea. But I'm going to put this link and a couple other links in the thread so that you can look at it. Lord, let them live. That's what I'm saying, Brenda. Don't let anybody die. And I pray nobody dies. But if somebody has to go, Lord, let it happen on January 24th. Just give us a nice little leeway there. But that was a great question. Thank you for stumping me like that this Friday morning. This is supposed to be Mimosa Friday. We're supposed to be having a party. Look, we're supposed to be having a party. There needs to be a term age limits along with continuing. Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that, y'all. This needs to be clear because we don't know. For the win. I gave y'all my inspirational message on the first hand. I don't believe it will be a close race based on the early voting. 6.6 million, Marion. 6.6 million, girl. That's how I already voted as of 11:59 last night. So for the win, I gave y'all the inspirational message in the beginning. If you want to go back and hit the replay to grab that, please do. For the win, y'all, Governor Gretchen Whitmer. And I say she gets the win because that sister held a press conference. Now, come on, how many of us would have been like, I would have been like a wreck. Somebody was getting ready to kidnap me and kill me or possibly kill me. That's getting ready to happen with militia? No, sister girl came out bold. This happened. And then she slammed the occupant of the Oval because of it. Because of his wording where he was not dealing with white supremacy during the debate, during the first presidential debate. That girl came out strong. She came out bold. She came out and shared her story. So she gets the win. She gets the win for today. All right, y'all. I know I just confused everybody with that last piece. I confused myself. I read this several times. I even called my attorney friends. Like, okay, what is this? They were like, yeah, is that unclear? I'm like, are you serious? They're like, is that unclear? They said that's why we need to vote and understand the voting process, y'all. Understand the voting process. We just look at the Supreme Court for certain things. We better look at the Supreme Court for everything. I told y'all what Clarence Thomas has put a motion on the table on Wednesday. On Wednesday, he put a motion on the table about South Carolina, about the 18,000 ballots that were already mailed out. He is wanting those ballots to be returned to those people since they reinstated having to have a witness signature on mail-in ballots in South Carolina. I shared with y'all on yesterday. That makes no sense because you can only sign your ballot once. So somebody cannot witness the signature if it's already been signed. If you sign it twice, it's going to throw it out. If you don't get another signature and somebody witnesses that and they know they sent those 18,000 ballots back to you, they're still going to throw it out because they're going to say it's fraud. So we're in a catch-22, y'all. So have your vote plan. Have your plan. What are you going to do? For those of you in the state of Ohio, there are people saying they have not received their ballots yet. And those ballots went out already. Contact them. Don't do anything. Don't do anything out the norm. You contact them. People are still saying that you have received ballots that are not yours. Don't shred it. Don't throw it away. Don't put it back in the mailbox. Take it to somebody and hand it to them at the Board of Elections office. Serious, y'all. We have to get smart about it. That may mean we have to jump through a few hoops, but it is worth it. It is worth it. It is worth it. I think that's it. I got to go over to IGTV. But I think that's it, y'all. So this is Friday. Again, whether you have orange juice or something else in your orange juice, it's Mimosa Friday. Y'all have a great day. I'll be back here on Monday, Lord willing, at 7:25. Hey, thank y'all. Thank y'all. Oh, I gotta say that. I just saw the text message come over. Y'all know my millennial team be watching me, right? Y'all know they be watching me. All right, y'all. So many of you been saying, okay, she told us last week about Target. What's happening? This is what I want you to do today. I want you to put together a Target list of things that you want to buy from Target. Just put together your Target list. On Monday, I'm going to give you the full instructions for Target. So put together, what would you buy from Target? What would you buy from Target? Put together your Target list. And on Monday, see where I'm headed with Target. All right? So I said that. Do I need to say anything else, Millennial Team? Do I need to say anything else? I don't think so. That was the main thing they wanted me to do. I want to give them a shout out again. I know I shout them out quite regularly. I cannot name them by name because they all have other full-time jobs. They're just doing this as a side hustle with me. They call me Mama Gail. They were just talking about how, they go to bat for me with Facebook. They go to bat for me with Instagram. They go to bat for me with YouTube. Because our algorithms are growing. So thank you. We need them to continue to grow. So if you don't mind, hit that share button and share it with some people. I would greatly appreciate it. That's how we change the algorithm. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube, please do so. It's www.youtube.com/Gail Dudley. I would greatly appreciate that. But I want to just give a kudos to the Millennial Team. They know who they are. They all have jobs. I'm not going to mess with their jobs. They all have jobs. But I can say this. I would not know half of what I'm doing if it wasn't for them. I would have no idea what I would be doing. I wouldn't know how to fight Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or anyone else. And I don't know how they fight them, but they are so bold. They'll tell me I can't do something on one of these platforms. They say, we got it, turn around, it's back open. So I don't know what they're doing. So I shout out to you. Hey, Mama Gail, always share. Thank you. I know you do, Beverly. Thank you. All right, y'all. IG gets mad at me because I'm always late. So I got to go to IG. Y'all make it a great weekend. Don't forget to worship. Don't forget to worship. Don't forget to worship. I'm Gail Dudley with your News in Motion. Make it a great day, a great weekend. I'll see you Monday right here at 7:25. Peace out.